I want to talk to you all about injunctions against harassment and orders of protection. My name is Billy Tarasio. I am an Arizona family law attorney, and this has come up in a number of contexts lately. For those of you who have been following me chatting about the Gilbert Goons, this will be relevant to you, or if you have children who are being bullied, this will be relevant to you. If you are an adult or you are in a family law situation and you have your ex's new significant other harassing you or bullying you, or their family members harassing or bullying you, this is going to be relevant to you as well. So many of you have heard about restraining orders or orders of protection. Well, injunctions against harassment are the same thing. They are a civil order that prohibits contact between two people. They are probably easier to get than getting the police to necessarily charge someone with harassing you. And if it is violated, that in and of itself is a separate crime. Minors can get injunctions against harassment. Parents get them on behalf of the minor, and they can be against anyone who is over the age of 12. So you can have two 16-year-olds where one is the plaintiff and one is the defendant in an injunction against harassment action. In order to get the injunction, you have to allege in a verified petition, which means you swear that it is true, and then you tell the court exactly what happened and where. You're not going to the police for this, you're going directly to the court. Evidence of harassment could include your statements, witness statements, what somebody said to you at a certain time, and electronic communications, texts, Snapchats, anything, DMs in your Instagram, all of that counts if you are getting threatening or harassing messages. If you get an injunction against harassment, then if that person that you've gotten this injunction against texts you, that's a crime. If they message you or DM you, that's a crime. If they use third parties to contact you, that's a crime. And it's a much easier way to establish a crime because you don't have to prove that their contact was harassment per se. The contact in and of itself is a crime. If there's an injunction against harassment in place, then it can prevent the defendant or the person against whom you got the injunction from going to your house, going to your school. If the two of you attend the same school, then you might end up with an injunction against harassment that says, you have to stay this far away from one another. That could immediately remove somebody from your class. There was an allegation that somebody was sitting next to someone who was harassing them, who then became their alleged attacker in Richard Kuhner's son's case. He literally sat next to a child that he later claimed was part of his attack. An injunction against harassment would have removed him from that class and prohibited contact. I will tell you though, it's not unusual for parents to have injunctions against harassment against each other. Those are called orders of protection based on that specific special relationship. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you both can't be at the same game. It might mean that you can both go to the same game, you can both be at the same place, you can both be at your kid's school, but you have to stay X amount of distance away from one another and there's no contact. That might be able to provide some relief. And I think it's really important that everyone knows all of their legal options.